Here's more wrestling news for January 21st, 2026. Your headlines for this afternoon include: possible spoiler reveals Chad Gable's WWE return plans, WWE star earns huge backstage praise after working hurt on European tour, sad update, Jim Ross suffers another scary fall, fans concerned, WWE referee Daphne LaShaunn in scary car crash, condition revealed, Dragon Lee emerges as top WWE Raw priority heading into WrestleMania, current WWE champion hints her deal could be her final one, and more. Chad Gable appears to be closing in on his WWE return, and creative discussion suggests that moment could come sooner rather than later. According to PWInsider, there have been internal pitches for Gable to return as early as this Monday's episode of Raw, which will air live from Toronto. While WWE has not officially confirmed anything, this is the strongest indication yet that Gable's comeback timeline is finally taking shape after months on the sidelines. Earlier reports had already pointed toward a return window around the Royal Rumble, with some optimism that he could be cleared even sooner. Now those expectations appear to be lining up with internal planning. Gable has been out of action since the summer of 2025 after suffering a shoulder injury that required surgery. The setback abruptly halted his momentum at the time, particularly as his El Grande Americano run was beginning to gain traction and positioning him for what many believed was an impending push. Since then, Gable has been training at the WWE Performance Center as he works toward full in-ring clearance. With the Royal Rumble just days away, a surprise return on Raw would be a logical way to reintroduce him into ongoing storylines and immediately raise his profile heading into one of WWE's biggest events of the year. Should Chad Gable return as El Grande Americano, or is this the right time for a fresh direction? How would you book his comeback? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Roxanne Perez is earning significant respect behind the scenes in WWE, and it's not just because of what she's doing between the ropes. According to a January 20th, 2026 report from PWInsider, Perez has received internal praise from WWE officials for pushing through recent matches while dealing with undisclosed physical injuries. Despite not being fully healthy, she continued to work as scheduled throughout WWE's Road to the Royal Rumble European Tour earlier this month. The workload was far from light. Over a 6-day stretch, Perez competed in multiple singles and tag team matches across England, Germany, and Poland, facing names such as Lyra Valkyria, Maxine Dupree, and Bayley. That run culminated on January 12th in Dusseldorf, where Perez and Liv Morgan captured a triple threat victory on WWE Raw to become the new #1 contenders for the WWE Women's Tag Team Championships. Even while banged up, Perez reportedly continued to perform at a high level, something that did not go unnoticed. PWInsider notes that both the Raw creative team and WWE management were impressed by her professionalism and willingness to push through such adversity. The timing is notable as well. Perez is set to compete in the WWE Royal Rumble later this month in Saudi Arabia, giving her another major platform at a moment when her internal stock appears to be rising. With growing backstage support and a reputation for toughness under pressure, Roxanne Perez may be positioning herself for a breakout year in 2026. Do you think Roxanne Perez is on the verge of a major run this year? Could she surprise people in the Women's Royal Rumble? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Enjoying the video? A quick like goes a long way in helping us grow and deliver more wrestling news you care about. Jim Ross will not be behind the commentary desk for this week's AEW Dynamite after suffering another frightening health scare. Taking to X on Monday, the Hall of Famer revealed that he experienced a fall at home that left him stranded on his living room floor for nearly 5 hours. While Ross did not go into specific medical details, he made it clear the incident was serious enough to force him to cancel his planned trip to Orlando for this week's AEW taping. This is not the first time Ross has dealt with a concerning fall. Ahead of AEW All In last August, he disclosed that he had suffered a bad fall just days before traveling to London. Despite that setback, Ross still made the trip and called the action for what became AEW's biggest event to date. At 74 years old, Ross has endured multiple health challenges in recent years. In 2023, he announced that his cancer was gone, and since then, he has gradually increased his AEW appearances. Most recently, Ross returned to the Dynamite commentary desk earlier this month in his home state of Oklahoma, a moment that was warmly received by fans. Although he won't be in Orlando this week, Ross reassured fans that he'll be watching the show from home. Jim Ross has given decades of his life to professional wrestling. While his absence will be felt, his health understandably comes first. We at Slat Rock Wrestling wish JR a smooth and speedy recovery. Former WWE star Leon Ruff and his wife, current WWE referee Daphanie LaShaunn, were involved in a serious car accident over the weekend, and the aftermath was frightening. On January 18th, Ruff took to Twitter to reveal that the couple had been rear-ended, sharing photos of their vehicle that showed extensive damage to both the front and rear ends. The images made it clear just how severe the collision was. At the time of his post, Ruff confirmed that they had just returned home from the hospital. While Ruff stated that he is doing okay, he noted that his wife suffered the worst of the injuries, describing both of them as sore and shaken following the crash. Earlier today, my wife and I were rear-ended on the road. We just got home from the hospital and we're both sore and shaken up. I'm alright, but Aja is hurting more than I am. Unfortunately, the car is totaled. In the same message, Ruff reached out to the wrestling community for support, explaining that he's now looking to pick up additional bookings in the wake of the accident. He also ended with a reminder about road safety. If anyone has any connections to bookers or upcoming shows, I'd truly appreciate the opportunity to pick up some extra bookings. Please drive safe and always wear your seatbelt. The incident is a sobering reminder that dangers outside the ring can be just as serious as anything inside it. Since sharing the news, Ruff and LaShaunn have received an outpouring of support from fans and fellow wrestlers across the industry. We wish both Leon Ruff and Daphanie LaShaunn a full and speedy recovery. Dragon Lee continues to gain serious momentum within WWE, and a new Backstage update makes it clear just how highly the company views him right now. During a January 19th episode of Self-Made Session, Self-Made Pro revealed that WWE management, particularly the Raw creative team, is really big on Dragon Lee and sees him as a key part of the brand's future. Notably, he added that Lee is currently being prioritized over other elite luchadors on the roster, including Rey Fenix. That confidence was on display during last night's Raw, where Lee teamed with Rey Mysterio and Penta to defeat The Vision, another clear signal that WWE considers him part of its upper-tier mix heading into WrestleMania season. Lee's continued association with Rey Mysterio has only strengthened his position, giving him a legacy connection while allowing him to establish his own identity at a higher level on the card. This momentum traces back to an October 2025 report from PWInsider, which noted that WWE was impressed with Lee's international work, particularly his AAA match against Dominic Mysterio, and was eager to secure him to a new deal before his current contract expires in 2026. That performance, combined with his recent Raw usage, has firmly positioned Lee as one of WWE's most promising rising stars. With WWE clearly investing in him, the question now becomes how far and how fast will this push go? Do you see Dragon Lee as Raw's next true breakout star? And should WWE be positioning him ahead of Rey Fenix moving forward? Share your thoughts in the comments below. WWE's acquisition of AAA wasn't just about gaining control of the Mexican promotion, it also ensured that one of the hottest stars in the industry is now locked in on an entirely different level. El Hijo del Vikingo is not part of the standard AAA roster structure. According to PWInsider Elite, while most AAA talent are now contracted under Felipe, the Mexico-based entertainment company, Vikingo is officially signed directly to WWE. That distinction is significant. WWE owns 51% of AAA through TKO Group Holdings, with Felipe controlling the remaining 49%. Under this structure, the majority of AAA wrestlers fall under Felipe's contractual umbrella. Vikingo, however, stands apart. WWE reportedly viewed him as a top-tier priority even before the acquisition was finalized, and that belief is reflected in his full WWE deal. That elevated status is already shaping his trajectory. Under the new WWE-led regime, he immediately won a #1 contenders match for the same championship, signaling that his position within the company remains protected and central. This move goes beyond just one wrestler. It suggests WWE is actively establishing a new model for how elite international talent can be positioned across its global partnerships, and Vikingo appears to be the blueprint. Do you think WWE signing El Hijo del Vikingo directly was the right call? Should more international stars receive similar treatment? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And speaking of Vikingo, he was recently warned backstage by WWE. Want to know why? Be sure to check the link in the description below. For all of our subscribers, don't miss the 9 a.m. Eastern video we dropped earlier today. Smash that bell icon and select all notifications so you're always in the loop.